Should real estate agents be on TikTok? I'm Katie Lance, and I help real estate agents get smarter about social media, and today we're talking all about TikTok. Okay, should you be on TikTok? Well, that's the million-dollar question. I probably get asked this at least once a week. And I have to say, we did a video recently about what social media platforms you should be on and how to pick. So if you haven't watched that, I'm gonna drop that in the chat below so you can check that out. It is definitely worth the watch because I feel like this is a bigger conversation. Every time there's a new platform, it's like, oh no, should I be on this? Should I be on that? And I know, especially if you're in real estate, it's pretty overwhelming. There's so many different options. I personally think as an agent, I don't think you need to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, every single platform that's out there. I think you need to pick a couple, one or two that number one, you like, that you enjoy being on, and number two, where your clients are on. And I know when TikTok first came out, it was just a bunch of like singing, dancing, silly videos. And I think a lot of folks think that that's still how it is. And to be honest with you, it's evolved. TikTok is honestly one of my favorite platforms. I absolutely love it. And I think what's interesting about TikTok is the more you use the platform, it's really an opportunity to really get in front of a new audience. And that's where I think there's a big opportunity, especially for real estate agents. You know, when it comes to social media, a lot of times when we're on social media, it's a little bit like an echo chamber. Have you ever felt like you've posted something on maybe Facebook or Instagram and it's like the same 5 people that are always liking or commenting, right? And maybe one of them's your mom or your best friend. What's interesting about TikTok is it's not necessarily based on your friends or your connections. The content you see is based on content you're interested in. So for example, if you're really into cooking, or you're really into cats or dogs or wine or travel or sports, typically that's the type of content you're gonna see in your feed. Because as you're scrolling through TikTok, the more you stop and hover and watch something, that's a trigger to the algorithm that you're interested in that type of content, which means my feed is probably different than your feed, and your feed's probably different than your best friend's feed, so on and so forth. So again, we have to think about, is it worth it in terms of real estate? I would recommend, if you're not on TikTok, to check it out. If anything, I think it's important to understand how the platform works. And I also think it's really important to understand whether or not we're talking about TikTok or not. This idea of short form vertical video content, in my opinion, I don't think it's going away anytime soon. So whether you create short form vertical video content for TikTok, or maybe it's for Instagram Reels or Facebook Reels or YouTube Shorts, which by the way, we just did a video about YouTube Shorts, so we'll link that one below as well. This idea of short form quick video, and also video that is fully immersive. When you're opening up a TikTok, you're not seeing a whole feed. You see one video at a time. It's this very fully immersive experience, which is much different than what we've seen in the past. So like I said, check it out, create a free account, try it out, see what you like. And I would also recommend that you reach out to your clients and your prospects. If you have an email database, you might reach out and say, hey, we're working on serving you better when it comes to social media, and we're wondering, where are you spending time? Is it Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? None of the above? And people will tell you, right? They'll be very honest with you. So that is super important. Okay, let's get into some tips, because I do want to say, when it comes to TikTok, I don't want to say slow to come talk about it, but I was a little hesitant to come talk about it because I know that every time something new comes out, we don't always need to jump on the new bandwagon, right? But because I lurked on TikTok for quite a while, and now I've been creating content on TikTok for quite a while, I found some interesting lessons learned. So if you're active on TikTok or you've thought about it, I think this is going to help. Okay, let's get into some lessons learned and some tips. Okay, tip number 1, spend time on the platform. I said this in my video I did a couple videos back about YouTube Shorts. It's the same thing. If you want to get traction on YouTube Shorts, you have to spend time on the platform. If you want to get traction on Instagram, you have to spend time on the platform. If you want to get traction on TikTok, it's the same thing. Now, it doesn't mean you have to spend 8 hours a day. Don't do that, although TikTok can be very addicting, but spend some time just getting to know how the platform works. And the good news about TikTok is there's a lot that you can kind of try out. You can try out the filters, you can try out a lot of the different features without ever publishing something. You can try out even creating a video and adding captions and adding different things to your screen, and then you can just save it as a draft, which is really nice. In fact, Instagram Reels has that same feature as well. So it really allows you to kind of try things out without feeling the pressure of, oh my gosh, I have to publish this right away. So number 1, spend some time on the platform. Don't just post and run. Tip number 2, repurpose your content. We repurpose a lot of our content from Reels and TikTok to YouTube Shorts, and I'll say the same thing about TikTok. A lot of the content that you see on TikTok is content that I have already posted on Facebook or Instagram, and that's okay. That's a great place to start. That's how we started, because the thing about TikTok is your audience on TikTok is probably going to be different than what Instagram or Facebook might be. Again, with Instagram and Facebook, it's primarily your friends, your family, clients, people who know you, but keep in mind, TikTok is typically showing your content to people who have no idea who you are. So to them, this is brand new content. So again, if you already have content that you've created, you can take that and put that up over onto TikTok. Now, one of the tools that I've used to repurpose some of my content is repurpose.io. I'm not affiliated with them, but they're a great tool. And if you already have some content on Reels, you can log into repurpose.io and easily repurpose it from Reels over to TikTok. And the beautiful part is it'll take the watermark off, and then you can repurpose that. There's also a great tool called Snaptick. Snaptick is really great, where you can take a link to a video. Maybe you have a link to a Facebook Reel you did or an Instagram Reel. You can put that in Snaptick, download it to your computer, and it'll download it without the watermark, because that's a little tiny thing every platform likes when you have content that doesn't have a watermark from another platform. So just a tiny little thing that definitely makes a big difference. But definitely start by repurposing your content. Okay, tip number 3, and probably one of the most important things, is make sure that you're creating some content that's exclusive for TikTok. Now, this might be a little tricky when you're on multiple platforms, because you're on multiple platforms, right? However, whenever you have intentionally decided to spend time on a platform, the way I look at it is, first of all, there's an opportunity to connect, to build relationships, to interact, but I always look for an opportunity to do something unique on that platform, because every platform is different. So for TikTok, what I tend to do that is in addition to my repurposed content is I will look for opportunities to do things that are really unique, specific to TikTok. Specifically, I love the duet and stitch feature. When you're watching TikToks, oftentimes there's a little button that says duet or stitch. If the creator has turned that on, you can then duet it or stitch it, which is kind of cool. So let's say you're watching a video and you just love what that person says, and you're like, oh my gosh, I totally agree with it. You can hit that duet button, and now what will appear is that original video, and then in a split screen, you'll be next to it. And you can just kind of point to it and go, yeah, I agree, right? It's probably one of the easiest videos that you can create, because you're giving credit to that original video creator, but you're agreeing. Or maybe you're disagreeing, right? That's an easy thing to do. A stitch is something similar as well. Now, a stitch is where you see someone's video, you hit the stitch button, and what'll happen is a little portion of their video will pop up, and then you can add on to that and give your 2 cents. I did this recently with a video. I saw a video creator talking about something that I was really passionate about, content creation, of course, and branding. And so I watched their video, and by the way, this was someone that I had not watched before, not surprising, because that's how TikTok tends to work. So I watched their video, I watched some of their other content, and I was like, okay, I really want to stitch this person. I went back to that original video, hit the stitch button, and with stitch you can adjust when their little video clip is playing. So if they're talking for maybe a minute, but you really want to stitch kind of the middle part, you hit that stitch button, and it'll basically kind of show you exactly where to stitch it. So I picked out a little clip, and that is on the front of the screen, and I did add some text over the screen that said stitch incoming, so people would know, okay, Katie's gonna say something. So you see her little clip, and then you see me talking after that. I say all that to say that's a great piece of original content. I'm not downloading that and putting that on Instagram or putting that anywhere else, because it doesn't make sense on any of those other platforms. It makes sense on TikTok, right? And creating some content that is relevant to the platform you're in makes a whole lot of sense. One of the new things about TikTok also is you can add text only to your content. This just rolled out fairly recently. So here's the good news. If you're feeling a little camera shy, but maybe you want to share something inspiring, you want to share a lesson learned, you can go into TikTok, and when you hit the little plus button to create a new video, right at the very bottom there's some different options. You can create a video, you can upload a video, you can add a photo, and you can add text, which is awesome. In the past, if you wanted to have any text on the screen for a graphic, you'd have to like create it in Canva or something, and now you can do it literally right in the app. So let's say you have some sort of story you want to share. Maybe you had something inspiring happen with a client, or a lesson learned, or a mistake learned. You could just type that up, add some fun music, post it to TikTok, and now you've got a great piece of content, right? Now, by the way, that type of content you can easily share. I did this recently where I did a TikTok with text and I shared that to Threads, just to see what that would be like. You can also share it to Instagram. You can share it to other platforms. So a lot of times if I am creating something in TikTok that just lives in TikTok, just for fun, just to kind of experiment to see what kind of traction I get, sometimes I'll share it in other places. Okay, one more quick thing that you can do right within TikTok is responding to comments. So if you do a TikTok where you are actively asking for feedback, you might, tell a story or give a tip and you are actively asking for feedback, or you get a lot of comments, you can respond to any of those comments through another TikTok. And I have done this a lot. This is an easy way to create content. I did this many times where I did a video and then someone responded. So when someone leaves you a comment, you can hit reply and then you can create a TikTok around that. So it's a great way to continue the conversation. And by the way, when you do that, that reply will stay on the screen for as long as you'd like. You can actually tap on it and click edit duration, so then it'll keep it on screen as long as possible. Of course, there's other things that make a big difference, like captions. We always want to caption all of our videos. Most of us never turn the sound on with video, so turn on captions. That's super important. Having some text on the screen, having a thumbnail, all of those little things that we do on other platforms are also important as well. Okay, I gotta hear from you. Are you on TikTok? Let me know. I'm gonna drop my handle in the comments, so if we're not yet connected, we can connect over on TikTok. But if you're on TikTok, drop your handle in the comments below. I would absolutely love to connect with you over there. And if you're listening to this over on YouTube, we'd love if you'd hit the subscribe button and the bell button. We have new videos that come out each and every week. And if you're listening to this and you need some content ideas, I would invite you to download our free content grid. This is gonna be a great free resource for you that's gonna help you not just with TikTok, but all of your social media. If you get stuck on content, this is gonna help. Go to katielance.com/content grid. All right, I'll see you soon, and I can't wait to see you on TikTok.